You look around in 2025 and feel something shifting. People are talking louder than ever, yet listening less than ever, and somewhere in that noise, a quiet question rises in you. Why do my prayers feel like they're bouncing off the ceiling? It's a question of every generation, but it hits different now because we live in an age where almost everything answers instantly except the things that matter most. We press send, we get a reply. We click play, the video starts. But when we close our eyes and whisper for guidance, silence answers back, and silence is the hardest response to hear. What if the problem isn't that you're not being heard, but that you've stopped listening? You see, modern life trains your brain for reaction, not reflection. You're wired for constant feedback. But the realm of faith or hope or purpose or whatever you call the invisible current that keeps you alive doesn't run on instant results. It runs on alignment. Think of a radio. When it's slightly off frequency, the signal is still there, but buried in static. Most of us are living in the static right now. We ask for direction, but our receivers are jammed by fear, busyness, and the endless scroll of comparison. The first secret is this. Unanswered prayers are rarely ignored prayers. They are mistuned frequencies waiting for quiet. When you slow down enough to notice, you begin to realize that the answer may already be forming in ways you didn't expect. Sometimes the delay is protection. Sometimes the silence is preparation. You wanted the door to open last year, but the floor under you wasn't strong enough yet. Growth often comes disguised as waiting, and waiting, though uncomfortable, is still movement. Many people give up right before the breakthrough because the digital world taught them to measure value by speed. The universe, or God, if that's your language, doesn't use seconds and likes, it uses seasons. Even the earth understands that there's planting before harvest. Imagine demanding a seed to bloom today simply because you watered it this morning. Absurd, right? Yet that's how we treat prayer. We ask, and when the sprout doesn't appear instantly, we assume the soil is dead. But the soil is working. It's just working underground. Every transformation begins unseen. That's why patience is not passive, it's participation. When you stay consistent through silence, you're proving readiness. The ancient words of wisdom say that endurance produces character, and character produces hope, and hope never disappoints because it reshapes the person who holds it. The second secret is honesty. Many people pray for change but refuse to change. They ask for peace while entertaining chaos, for clarity while feeding distraction, for strength while running from challenge. Real communication, whether with people or with the divine, requires alignment between word and action. You can't ask for rain and then curse the clouds. If your routine contradicts your request, you're canceling your own signal. That's not punishment, that's physics. Energy follows intention. When you start living like the thing you're praying for is already on the way, you shift the atmosphere around you. Gratitude before results is a language that life always understands. Third secret, community. Solitude can sharpen you, but isolation starves you. Too many have tried to carry spiritual hunger alone behind perfect social feeds. In 2025, connection feels fake because everyone is performing authenticity instead of practicing it. Find a circle that reminds you who you are when you forget. Real friends don't just comfort you, they correct your frequency. They'll tell you when you're drifting from your purpose, when cynicism is replacing conviction. The same is true of mentors, books, quiet teachers life sends disguised as strangers. Sometimes an answer comes through a person's story. Sometimes it comes through your own pain echoed back by someone who survived it. Fourth secret, discipline. Hope without habits collapses. A small daily rhythm of reflection, 5 minutes of stillness, 1 sentence of gratitude, 1 act of kindness, does more than 1,000 dramatic resolutions. People talk about miracles, but forget that most miracles are built one disciplined decision at a time. The mind you train becomes the life you live. So protect it. What you watch, what you repeat, what you allow near your imagination, these shape your internal climate. You can't expect peace if you live in emotional pollution. Turn down the noise long enough to recognize your own voice again. Fifth secret, interpretation. We often label experiences as unanswered simply because the answer looked different. You asked for courage and got conflict. You asked for patience and got delay. You asked for faith and got uncertainty. But those are the gyms where the muscles grow. The process is the proof that the request was heard. The unseen pattern of life rarely wastes effort. Look back at old disappointments, and you'll see how many were disguised deliverances. If you could map every closed door and every diverted path, you'd realize silence was steering you. The phrase, be still and know, isn't passive. It's the hardest action in a hyperactive world. Finally, there's alignment with purpose. The most fulfilled people you'll meet in 2025 aren't those who got every answer they wanted, but those who kept becoming the kind of person who could handle any answer. When you evolve, your questions evolve too. Maybe prayer isn't a shopping list. Maybe it's an invitation to transformation. The more you grow, the more your focus shifts from give me to guide me, from why me to use me. In that shift, peace returns. Life starts talking back, not in thunder, but in alignment. Doors opening, strength returning, coincidence stacking in your favor. So if you're in that silent season now, don't mistake it for neglect. Silence can mean sacred construction. Something is being built inside you that words can't yet describe. Stay faithful to the process. Stay patient with yourself. Stay persistent in gratitude. The quiet will not last forever. Every unanswered prayer is a seed of future wisdom. You will look back and understand that the pause was the answer, the delay was direction, the silence was strategy. And when that realization hits, you'll stop doubting the system of faith itself and start mastering its rhythm. Because in the rhythm, there's power. Momentum disguised as stillness, guidance hidden in waiting. You've awaited. You've wondered. And somewhere along the way, you started to realize that the answer isn't coming from the clouds, it's coming from the inside out. Because every time you choose integrity over impulse, patience over panic, you're aligning your life with the very thing you've been asking for. That's where part 2 begins. Alignment. Alignment means living in a way that agrees with what you're praying for. You can't ask for strength and then practice weakness. You can't pray for peace and then gossip about chaos. You can't ask for direction and ignore every sign that tells you to slow down. In this age of quick fixes, we've forgotten that prayer is less about transaction and more about transformation. It changes the one who asks before it changes the world around them. Think about it. If every wish appeared instantly, we'd never learn stewardship, and unanswered moments are the training ground for that. When you start treating every small decision like a conversation with destiny, you'll see how the external answers mirror your internal choices. Want clarity? Simplify your life. Want provision? Practice generosity. Want love? Become love. That's alignment in motion. The more consistent your behavior becomes with your intention, the faster the atmosphere around you adjusts. That's why gratitude is the accelerator of faith. Gratitude tells the universe you've already recognized the gift even before it fully arrives, and that posture multiplies possibilities. Start small. Thank the morning, thank the air, thank the lessons hidden inside hardship. A thankful heart sees opportunities where an anxious heart sees obstacles. In 2025, we talk about manifestation as though it's a trick. It's not a trick, it's training. You train your mind to expect what you desire, and you train your life to support it. If you pray for health but live on exhaustion, you're fighting yourself. If you pray for wisdom but fill your mind with noise, you're blocking the channel. Every request requires room to land, so create space. Clear your calendar, clear your clutter, clear your conscience. Confession, spoken or silent, is not weakness, it's maintenance. You can't run with purpose while dragging yesterday's debris. Release guilt, forgive where you can, and you'll feel energy return, because forgiveness is a form of freedom. Even science agrees that resentment keeps your nervous system locked in defense. Forgiveness flips the switch back to growth. It's not mystical, it's measurable. Then there's action. Faith without action is like a message unsent. You can believe all day, but until you move, nothing moves with you. Every ancient text, every philosophy worth its salt says the same thing. Knock and doors open. Seek and you find. Ask and you receive. But notice the verbs, they're active. They demand participation. So take the small steps that match your request. If you've prayed for opportunity, prepare your skills. If you've asked for purpose, volunteer where you are. If you've asked for healing, start with the habits that honor your body. The movement itself attracts momentum. And here's the paradox. When you move in faith, you often realize the door was never locked. It was waiting for your hand on the handle. Now let's talk about timing. Every generation struggles with time because we think delay means denial. But look at nature. No sunrise is ever late. No tide misses its return. Life has impeccable timing. We just live too impatiently to see it. The reason prayers don't work sometimes is because we mistake process for punishment. You're not being punished, you're being polished. The delay is shaping you into the kind of person who can hold the blessing without breaking under it. Patience is the discipline of trust. The farmer who sows doesn't doubt the soil every morning. He trusts the unseen cycle. Adopt that mindset and watch your anxiety shrink. Time is not your enemy. Rushing is. In the silence between request and result, focus on character. Character is the bridge between asking and receiving. Without it, even a miracle can become a mess. Build honesty, humility, and consistency. And your prayers start carrying more weight because they come from a grounded source. Remember, the loudest voice isn't always the one that's right. It's the one that's clear. Clarity grows in integrity. Live so cleanly that your intentions can travel without distortion. There's also something about community we can't ignore. In a hyper-individual world, people think spirituality is a solo sport. It's not. The strongest lives are built in circles, not towers. Share your questions, not just your victories. When you open up to trustworthy people, perspective expands. Sometimes the answer you've been begging for comes out of someone else's mouth unexpectedly. A reminder that you were never meant to figure everything out alone. Collaboration is a divine design. Two minds create space for solutions one mind can't see. And finally, surrender. The word sounds passive, but it's the most powerful posture of all. Surrender doesn't mean giving up. It means giving over. It's the shift from control to cooperation. You still plan, you still work, but you release the obsession with outcome. You stop timing miracles like deliveries and start trusting timing like seasons. When you surrender, anxiety loses oxygen because control is its fuel. Let go, not out of defeat, but out of confidence that life is wiser than your deadlines. That surrender transforms your energy, your voice softens, your breathing steadies, and suddenly you can hear again. Answers live in that calm. They may come as insight, coincidence, or simply peace about the next small step, but they come. So when you leave this room, this screen, this moment, take with you one truth. Unanswered doesn't mean unheard. Every genuine desire, every whispered intention, every moment you lifted your eyes in frustration, none of it disappeared into nothing. It became the blueprint of who you're becoming. The silence shaped your strength, the waiting built your wisdom, and the alignment is now drawing results toward you faster than you imagine. Keep showing up, keep tuning in, keep living like your prayer is already being answered, because in ways unseen, it is.